Okay.
you.
Holly Cotton here, and you guys, I am so excited about our guest today. I actually ran into him at an event here in Houston. He was repping for H Town, all the entrepreneurs. And when I heard his story, I was like, okay, I have to get you on my show because not only does he just go and make his money, but their mission is to give back, to empower the Black community, to give all these tools, all these gems. So don't worry, I'm gonna pull everything out of him. But let me just introduce him today. Martel Matthews is obviously, like I just said, he's an entrepreneur. He's a CEO of Good Feeling Hemp and the COO of the new Black Wall Street. So welcome, Martel.
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate you having me on the show. When we met on the red carpet at the Big Boss brunch, it was a vibe, right? Everybody was in purple. It was an amazing atmosphere. We was having fun, talking business, networking, and just elevating. So, I plan to bring a lot of that same energy here and drop a lot of those same gems as we talk today.
Yes, for sure, for sure. And I always say collaboration over competition, collaboration, collaboration. People just don't realize how important it is to be in a room, to network. You don't know what tools and advice that someone can give you if you are open and receptive and you're not just like, who is that? I don't feel like doing that. So I love that. So before we get into all of the things, because y'all, let me tell you, Martel has like 38 jobs. But before we get into all of the things that he's doing right now, can you give us the insight, Martel, on how this became your mission, how you found your passion? How did you embark on the entrepreneurial world?
All right, Holly. Well, great question, and just a little bit about my beginning and how I started. I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur, Holly, when I was in the fourth grade, and let me tell you why. Okay, I was in the fourth grade. They called me down to the principal office. I was walking to the office. Don't know why I'm getting called down. I get in there and I see my mom sitting there with the principal. I'm like, oh shit, what I did now, right? The principal comes and says, "Well, Miss Matthews, we got a problem. Your son Martel, he's selling candy at school, but what the problem is, we had one student came and their mom said that she came home with money and said Martel gave her money. She was like, what do you mean? What you mean Martel gave her money? Well, what I did, Holly, I had 3 kids selling candy for me, so I would buy chips and ice and Rice Krispies and candy and like the little airhead extremes. You remember those? 25 cents, selling for 50, right? So I would have kids sell candy for me, and then when they bring it back, they'll be giving me $1 or $2, and I'll get them $1. So when they went home, one of the girls that was selling candy, her mom was like, "Why do you got $5? It wasn't that much money, but when you're a little kid, you ain't supposed to have nothing, right?" So they
Right.
told me I couldn't sell candy no more, and I had a blue lunch bag, blue lunch kit. So I started selling candy on the way home and instead of at school. And that's when I knew like entrepreneurship was gonna be for me the rest of my life, because that's what entrepreneur is. Like, you literally have to make ways out of no ways. There's always like a door getting shut in front of you. There's always a hurdle. And people don't talk about that side. People act like everything is just social media and you're living the life. No, entrepreneurship is a grind, and you learn how to put out fires. And on the back end, you get to reap the rewards of learning how to basically be a problem solver, because that's what you're doing. You're solving problems all day. So, up since then, right, we've came a long way since fourth grade. Now I am the CEO of Good Feeling Hemp. We are a Black-owned CBD and cannabis company. We're actually one of the first in the city of Houston, or in the state of Texas, to be licensed to sell hemp products. We launched here in 2020. Been growing that brand. We manufacture our own products, which is very unique to be a Black company that's in cannabis and hemp, and we're also manufacturing, right? So we have a great market there. My website is goodfeelinghemp.com. I also do white label and private label, so I launch brands. So other people who are looking to get into cannabis and sell hemp and CBD products, my company offers those services as well. So we're truly empowering our community through health and wellness with our products. And my other company that I'm the co-owner and COO of is Black Wall Street, the new Black Wall Street. On Instagram, we're blackwall.st. We're a media brand. We've been able to use our influence and our circle of influence to just really grow. We're almost at 1 million followers on Instagram, another 100,000, 100K on Facebook. But, we've been growing the brand to really make a difference in the Black community. What we saw was that online on social media, it's great to use social media, but a lot of people are wasting so much time on social media and not getting real value, right? It was just entertainment. And entertainment is cool, but what I like something called edutainment. I like to bring education and entertainment at the same time. And that's what we do at Black Wall Street, right? We provide something we call TOR, which is tools, opportunities, resources, and education to the Black community. We are providing this like the original Black Wall Street in Oklahoma that brought Black businesses together to elevate them. So we teach people how to set up digital funnels. We teach people how to maximize on their data. We teach you about tools like ChatGPT, like Smith.ai, all these different tools that you can use. We launched a mastermind community called the Business Empower Mastermind. And for that community, people can tap in literally and learn around with entrepreneurs who are making millions of dollars and teach them how to actually elevate, how to scale on the digital side, how to scale their social media, how to grow their following, how to optimize, and how to optimize and then how to make monetize their social media platform. So, we've been doing a lot of things in the community. We're continuing to grow, but those are my main two brands, my bread and butter. But as you know, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I sell products on Amazon. I own a driving school here in the city of Houston. I partnered with a driving school, which is different. I own a personal care facility. I'm the director of a home health care personal care facility. My family's owned that since 1998. So I know the list goes on and on, but I'm definitely on the entrepreneur side, and I just want to empower our entrepreneurs and our people to become entrepreneurs, because if we're going to catch up the wealth gap that we have here in America and globally as a Black community and as a population, we're going to have to use entrepreneurship and we're going to have to use smart investments. And so both of those go hand in hand, and we want to bring that education that you don't just learn in college, just that real game, Holly. You don't learn all this in college all the time. So we bringing that type of education to the community and to people.
Right, right. Well, first of all, I wanted to say that fourth grade story, that's called a hustler, not an entrepreneur. But I'm actually, but I'm a hustler too. So I totally relate. And so actually I shared someone's post today and they had something about I've been hustling my whole life or something. But what I wanted to say is that I love that you did use that story as an analogy, because a lot of people don't realize that being an entrepreneur is basically the same thing as hustling, because there is no person, you don't have a boss. Like, you are the boss. So when you're out there hustling, you're making these deals, you're putting these fires out, you're doing this. Now, of course, when you elevate, you can get a team or whatever, but just to start up, like, you are the only person on your team. You are the hustler. You have to come up with the idea. You have to figure out how to promote that. So I love that. I love that you use that analogy. I'd have been right there with you. I'd have been like, wait a minute. Because I was like, I would always see up.
I say we would have been selling together.
We'd have been running the block.
We would have ran it up. They would have had the whole candy community, monopoly.
Well, and I think that it also like gives us I guess like a prelude of the trajectory that you went on, because I think that it's also important to realize as entrepreneurs and people that, like you said, are trying to start monetizing their brand and things like that, is that you have to sometimes be the boss, but then sometimes you have to shut up and listen so that you can get information, and you have to watch the way that other people do things. Because I think a lot of times when I talk to people like you that are doing the education, people give up on their idea because they hit a wall and they think that's the only way that they can be successful. So once they hit that wall, they don't know how to go over it, or they don't know how to go another path, or maybe they love their idea so much they don't know how to do other angles of it. So whenever you were talking about monetizing your brand, because I know that's a big thing now. So if I have an idea in my head and I'm working on a brand, give us some insight into some of the things that you guys are educating people on how to actually make money for you.
All right, that's a great question, Holly. And before I even get into how to make money, let's first go into mindset. Because like you just said about being a hustler versus being an entrepreneur, it's a really big key, right? Most entrepreneurs, all entrepreneurs, kind of start off hustling. You start off with that hustle, grind, that hustle. Rick Ross used to be like, hustle, hustle, hustle hard, right? Everybody want to hustle, hustle. But eventually you got to stop hustling and you have to start thinking. A real entrepreneur is a thinker and a planner. When you start to plan things out, think and learn how to actually have a team, develop a team, put plans into place, and then make them roll out, that's how you expand. That's how you actually do big business, right? But before you get there, it's levels. It takes time to get there. And that's where the mindset comes in, right? Learning, getting around people who already have that mindset has been one of my greatest tools. One of my greatest success secrets, if I drop some secret game on people, has been learning how to find mentors and branding, co-branding with other brands that are already doing better than me or at the same level as me. Because what happens is when you're dealing with people who are doing better than you or at the same level as you, you continue to elevate and you continue to learn new things. They just drop nuggets when we just chilling eating lunch, right? Or you just hanging out talking business, and you soak up so much game. It's more valuable than just when you're even in the boardroom or even when you're actually talking just regular business, right? So for every entrepreneur out there who is starting to grow a brand, who's looking to grow a brand, maybe you've already started, maybe you haven't. One thing you need to do is know how to change your circle of influence. It's gonna be uncomfortable. You may have to stop hanging out with the friends you hang out with all the time who not making no moves, and start putting yourself around other people. Go to networking events, tap in with communities, join the Business Empower Mastermind community, right? Get around people who are actually elevating to take themselves to the next level. Now, number two, when you get ready to start this brand, I always say you got to turn your pain or your passion into prosperity. So whichever one you want, you can use your pain or you can use your passion. But you're going to have to use one, and you're going to turn it into prosperity because people connect with you. They connect with your brand. Like I just told y'all that story about me in fourth grade selling candy. That's a true story, baby. You know what I'm saying? I was really out here making it work. These are real stories. These are things that I was really doing. And when you tell and you speak from a truth, it resonates with people. And that's when they get hooked. You don't just want, are you a brand or a logo, right? You don't just want people to just buy your product one time and then they leave. You want them to really be invested, right? You want to be Nike. You want to be Chick-fil-A. You want to be a brand that people recognizes and continues to almost feel like your family. They feel like your brand represents them, you know? And so if you're going to create your brand, decide if you want to talk about your pain or if you want to talk about your passion, and then you start to create this and monetize. Now let's talk about some tools, right? So some tools, Holly, that people can use to help them with these type of strategies. I always like to first go into content marketing. Content marketing is the best way to market a product, an idea, or a brand. And I personally believe inbound marketing is the most effective way. So what inbound marketing is when you create content and you create value that you put out into the world for people to come find you. It's attractive marketing versus, direct marketing is you just going knocking door to door, or you going and calling people on the phone and just telling them about your brand. Now that's great. You're gonna have to do a little bit of that to get your brand growth, right? But true branding is inbound marketing. You create content for whatever your niche is. Let's say if your niche was fitness, if your niche was hair, if your niche was cannabis, hemp, like my company, Good Feeling Hemp. You create content around that brand, that niche for your audience. Now, Holly, you may say, or someone that's out there may be like, well, I don't know what content to create. All right, well, now this is where we have AI tools. I'm going to tell you to log into ChatGPT, and you're going to log into ChatGPT, and you're going to write out, this is my brand, this is my target, this is my niche. I'm targeting, let's say if you were targeting millennials and minorities, ages 25 to 55, who are interested in hip hop culture, interested in fitness, interested in healthy living, and love yoga, and likes to travel, like overseas trips, but also loves going to jazz spots and love going out on the town. Extroverted type of people. This is my target market. Now, give me the pain points, or tell me pain points that this target market will experience, and then hit enter. And ChatGPT will look at what you just wrote and then give you back data of what type of things you could say in a video, in a blog post, in a reel, in a picture, in your captions to that audience. So that way, when that audience comes and they read your post, they're like, oh, you're talking directly to me. Because you were strategically thinking about it. But Holly, now we're not hustling, right? Holly, now you're thinking. You're being an entrepreneur. So we're teaching people how to actually go from just a hustler mindset to becoming an entrepreneur, which use brain, using strategies, and using systems to really take yourself to the next level. And one more thing I'll say before you ask me the next questions, you got to get with systems. If you want to become successful, every successful entrepreneur I know, every millionaire that I'm connected with, every billionaire, and I got both. I have some billionaire mentors that I send my phone right now. I can get them a call or a text, and they don't answer my call. And I have millionaire mentors and friends, right? But with that being said, both of those group of individuals that I know all are efficient with systems, and they have different systems because systems is simply saving you time and energy, right? So you're going to save time, you're going to save energy, and you're going to make money when you create systems. So yeah, that's just a few overview for a new entrepreneur, you know.
I, well, let me tell you, I was taking all the notes and I'm like, mental note, mental note, mental note, mental note. I love that. I love that. And I also love that the way that you speak, and I know that you do this all the time, but I love the way that you speak. You offer tangible information. Sometimes whenever I have people on, they talk so above the regular person, like you said, if that's not your target audience, it goes over their head. But I love that you're able to break it down into actual tangible steps that anyone from the beginning, or like you said, if you're already scaling your brand, how you can continue to scale more. So I love that. I love that. See, I told y'all he was gonna come give y'all some free information.
There you go.
So so let me just say this, because one of the things, I had someone on a show, and she's kind of doing I guess she's doing like business scaling, and I had her, I networked with her at an event. And so I always welcome when people give me feedback about guests and things like that, and so I can structure things differently next time I have someone that has a similar expert opinion about stuff. So one of the things they were saying, because she was talking about how much money she had invested in coaching to help her scale her business, and how she had networked with people to get into rooms and that sort of thing. And so the person was like, well, what about people who don't have money to pay for conferences, who don't have money to go and pay for a course? So do you have any advice for those people who maybe can't afford to go pay $1,000? Like, I'm going to Invest Fest next weekend in Atlanta. So, and no, the ticket was like $250 plus you have to pay to go there.
Right.
So not everyone can pay that to get in the room. So do you have any advice for anyone who maybe doesn't have the money for the resources?
I have some advice, but you might not like it. Okay. So
Okay.
my advice for you.
I'm gonna like
You
it.
know, like they
I'm
might
doing
not
it
like
for the
it.
I'm doing it for the
They
culture.
might not like it. But my advice for you, if you don't have the money and you don't have the resources, is become comfortable making sacrifices. Sacrifice to get the money and get the resources. There's no other way around it. Like some people will tell you, oh, go watch YouTube videos. Go try to figure it out yourself. Most of the time, you try to figure it out yourself, you're not gonna be successful to the level that you really want to be. It is what it is. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn you're gonna learn because you're figuring it out yourself. But figuring out yourself typically doesn't bring results, right? So if you want real results, you're gonna have to you got a job. If you're working, get you a side hustle. Do what you need to for a little bit of time. Sacrifice. Stack some money on the side. Get your game right. Listen to audio books. Listen. Read books while you're doing this. Grow your mindset, because business is 90% mindset, 10% execution. Like, if you really get the mind right, the execute everything else, I'm telling you, it's gonna flow. Get your mind right. Make some sacrifice to get the money and get the resources to get around the best, because the best are the best for a reason. And they're always going to be that for a reason. And most people don't tell you that when you come up. People weren't telling me that when I was coming up. You know, I grew up on food stamps and child support. Holly, we didn't have money. You know, that's why I was selling candy in 4th grade. Okay, we wasn't breaded. You know, I'm a South Side baby. I'm from Mo City in South Park. My daddy lives in South Park. My mom was in Mo City. So I didn't have that much resources. But what I did have was that hustle. And now I learned how to turn that hustle into business strategy entrepreneur. But for everybody else who's still out there who got that hustle, put your hustle to the grind, but sacrifice, have some savings, save your money, stop spending, save some money, and then get around the people and get into the rooms that you need to get into because you made the sacrifice and you made the savings to actually capitalize. Because to be honest with you, Holly, some people, if you get into that room and you're not ready, you just wasted money. It's people who will go to InvestFest in 2 weeks, right? Who honestly, it's great they're going to be there. It's great they're going to learn something, get some experience, but they're not really at the level. They might not even done the little work with their own business and things they need to truly capitalize on the relationships that they're about to make. You know, everybody wants success fast. Everyone wants to, they want, we have instant popcorn. We want to watch instant movies. The Wi-Fi go off. We're like, what's wrong with the Wi-Fi, right? But one of my mentors taught me a long time ago that, Martel, if you want to be successful, you have to become okay with delayed gratification. I said, well, this my guy was named Jim Brown. I mean, Tim Brown. I said, well, Tim, what's delayed gratification? He said, well, delayed gratification is when you do the work today and you're okay with knowing that you're going to get the rewards a month from now, 3 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. You delay the gratification. You don't get so happy about doing the work. Do the work now, knowing that you're going to get the results on the back end, right? We talk about back end money. Everybody wants stuff on the front end, but if you the back end is where the wealth is at. The front end money, most of the time you get a front end check, that check may feel good, but trust me, on the back end, the people who are making the real money, the residual money, that money that's built up, that generational wealth money comes on the back end. It doesn't come on the front end. And that comes with a mindset of delayed gratification. But you got to change your mindset first. So delayed gratification, if you right now don't have resources and you don't have money, most likely you're living on instant gratification. Soon as you get some money, you go out to the bar and go get a drink because you're like, oh, I need to let this stress go. Soon as you get something, you go buy some shoes, you go buy some makeup, you go buy a purse, you go buy something to make you feel better because you want that instant gratification. Hold that money, hold the resources, deal with that pain, deal with not feeling, become comfortable being uncomfortable. That used to be one of my affirmations I told myself every morning. I am comfortable being uncomfortable. I want to become comfortable being uncomfortable because to grow in the stretch, you're going to be uncomfortable. When I start waking up at 4 a.m. in the morning to go do my workout, to do my meditation, to read, that shit is uncomfortable. I'm a late owl. I don't want to wake up early as hell in the morning. But 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 when I do it, the results are proven. You know what I'm saying? The results are there. So you have to become comfortable being uncomfortable, and that delayed gratification is one of the best ways to get there. So if you back to the original question though, right now, if you don't have the resources and you don't have the network to be where you want to be, you need to make the sacrifices to sacrifice your instant gratification, have some delayed gratification, put some things away, save some money, and then get with the right people and the right community so you can elevate. And then of course I'm gonna say join the Business Empower Mastermind, right? We only $37.97 a month. And you get around people like myself, like Marcus Bowers, like Frank Perkins, like our CEO, our CTO. Yeah, Holly, that would be my advice to somebody who needs resources and network.
Yeah, and I love how he just keeps throwing his you see how he does that? You see how you throw your brand in there? See, y'all take notes. Y'all take notes.
You know, that's
No,
professional. You know what
but
I
I
mean?
love that, and also I'll just say that because sometimes people don't have the mindset, or they don't have the imagination to really see what you're saying. So let me just give another example of what you just said, and that's also like in fitness, in the same thing. People, when I was a trainer, it was the same thing when I would train people, and I'm like, listen, you're not going to work out today and have a six pack, or you're not going to work out today and have this. So it's the same thing. It's like that sacrifice today. Like, don't eat the cheeseburger today. And then in 21 days, in 6 weeks, whatever, you'll see the pounds, you'll see the stuff. So I think that's also like, that's something that's for anyone who's a visual person. It's the same concept as what, whenever you're saying
Right.
that, like, don't go buy the burger, don't spend the money, get the money, do what you have to do. And I also like that you definitely are not someone that's telling everyone to quit their job. So many times on social media we see the entrepreneurs and they're like, So listen, if this is your brand, you got to go all in. You need to get rid of that job, quit working for the man.
All in.
So I like that you're not
That's a mistake. In my opinion, that's a mistake.
well, because I told Martin,
You know, and I
go ahead.
oh
Well,
go
I was
go
gonna
go
say,
Holly.
and I was telling Martel that I'm
So
still a practicing nurse. So I actually love being a nurse. Like I went to school to be a nurse. I know it's something that I've already done and it's not my whole career anymore, but I love my job as a nurse. I love making a difference. I love being able to do that, being a nursing professor. I love teaching. So the jobs that I have are like almost like hobbies to me. And my Holly Cotton brand is my brand, but my other jobs, I enjoy doing it. So why, so what advice do you have for people? I know you were about to say you think that's a mistake. So go ahead, give us some advice.
first off, Holly, you've built an amazing brand, by the way. I just want to compliment you on your
Oh,
brand and what you've built and the things that you're doing. You really are growing this brand to a whole nother level, and I'm happy to be on your show because it's dope. But my advice for people who just want to quit their job or who someone tells you to go all in, the problem with that, Holly, is when you go all the way in, like all the way in, typically you don't you it's a you're going on a road that doesn't have a map. So if you're taking a road without a map, that means you have no direction. It's like going somewhere without a GPS. That's what the first part of entrepreneurship is like. You know what I mean? You don't really have no real direction, no GPS, especially if you don't have a coach and if you don't got the resources to have a coach, right? So when you keep your job or whatever your regular income is, that becomes your investor. Your job becomes what you if you mess up, if you make a mistake, your livelihood isn't so linked to it. And the problem with going all in, your livelihood is now linked to your business. And when you're not there yet, you start to make decisions out of scarcity instead of abundance, right? But you want to have an abundance mindset. That's how you get to big deals. That's how you get the big checks. That's how you get the big opportunities. Thinking more relaxed, thinking more abundant, not thinking about the quick little dollar. But when you that stomach get hungry because you all in and you gotta you
She,
gotta
I'm gonna
buy
take this
groceries or
$5.
these lights. You gonna take any and every client because you just trying to survive and that's like what is it, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? That the hierarchy of need from being a survival state to going to being in a state of abundance and appreciation, right? It's like you don't want to stay in that survival state. You make bad decisions in that state, and as an entrepreneur, those bad decisions reflect on your business. So when people say like, "Oh, quit your job," most people who've never been entrepreneurs, they don't know what comes with this. This is you're no longer you don't have a boss. You don't have someone to tell you what to do. So now, not only do you have to tell yourself what to do, you have to tell others what to do as well. So it takes time to develop those skills. And I'm not anti like not I don't have a job. I do this full time entrepreneur, right? So I definitely understand going in and diving in, but I just think that more people should be more hesitant and keep their job to a degree or to keep some type of side hustle and make your entrepreneurship hustle double, triple what you're making before you leave that, especially if you have kids, especially if you have a wife or a husband and you got parents that you're taking care of or you got family members. Like most of us, most humans are taking care of other people, right? We helping out our family. So if you're doing all that and then you just jump all the way in, the amount of stress that can be put on your shoulders is could become not healthy, right? So I just think you should leverage your income before just departing from that income to be a full-time entrepreneur.
And let me just sidebar on that. You talking about kids? How about you just to survive by yourself now? Forget, not even worrying about taking care of parents, kids, whatever. Because I have two young adult children, and I'm just like, look, y'all got to get y'all life together now. Come on, like they still struggling. I'm like,
Right.
oh my god, I need y'all to get it together. So that, and then the second thing I wanted to
No,
say is
that's real.
I always teach my nursing students about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and they're always like, because I'm like, you guys, this is actually you're going to use this, so I'm quoting you. I'm be like, and I got someone who wasn't even in the medical field who used it, so it is important. I love that. I love that.
It is. It is.
So, Martel, I know you have 38 jobs, so I'm just going to ask you one last question and then we'll talk about all of the projects you're working on or whatever. So, one of the questions that I wanted to ask is I know that when people see you and you're out and you're in your, I guess, your expert field where you're actually at an event, you're at a conference, they see you on the stage, they're like, they know your name now. So, whenever they
Hello,
want,
it froze.
yeah, so whenever they want to,
It froze like the last.
oh, can you hear me? Hello.
Okay, now I can hear you. Yep,
Okay,
I can hear you.
okay. So when people recognize you as someone that's an expert in a certain field, and now they're like, "Oh, he's successful. He has money. He's got business." What is the common question that people ask you? Like, what's the first question people always ask you when they realize that you are a successful entrepreneur? Because I know there's like probably a similar genre of that question.
Oh, that's a great question. I think it depends on who it is and how they meet me. To be honest, but for the most part, what I get a lot is, can you help me? How can like how did you do it? I get a lot of like how did you generate the money? How like a lot of people ask me how do I get my network? Like how's my network what it is, right? Like how are you around all these people? How did you become successful? And how can I do it? And that's really what they're asking. They don't say it. They don't say how can I, but they ask how did you? But really, what they want to know is like how can I help them get out of their present situation? So I think, and which is fair, right? If you're going through life and life is a struggle, and you see someone who's figured out some of the codes to life and the ways to move in this world, it's fair to ask them, yo, how can you help me? And so for me, that's why I've set up like systems and companies because I'm trying to. Like my goal is truly to help people, Holly. Like if I was only about money, I've been making money and just keep making money. I wouldn't do all this extra work that I put in to give resources and tools to everybody else. Because like I have had people say, well, man, like you making money like this. Why you helping other people? Man, because I grew up poor, bro. I didn't have it, and I wish somebody else helped me. Like I'm just keeping it a buck, like yeah, I don't have to. I don't have to get out here and help other people make money. I don't. I don't have to help teach them. I'll be good. Me and my family will be good. Humbly, I mean that with a humble spirit. But for God put this on my heart, and God put my purpose on earth to help each other and to help my fellow men and women expand. So that's part of my purpose. It's part of what I was placed on this earth to do. And so that's why it don't feel like work to me. When I get on here and get to talk to you and talk to the listeners who are tapped in and just give them free game, like this stuff that people pay me to consult for. You know what I mean? They pay me every hour to
And
talk to
and
them
you're
and take
welcome,
that
y'all.
brand to
You're
the next.
welcome, y'all, for me getting y'all the free deeds. Thank you, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out to you. But it's like these gems, seriously, and we work in big business. So most of the people who I consult with, Holly, are typically not just an individual, right? I consult with big brands who are already making money. They're already generating, 30, 40,000 a month. And they had 50,000 a month. But they're trying to see how do we take it to the next level, right? We have clients, they're making $500,000. But they want to see how can we use this data and get to 2.1, 2.5 billion next year? How can we elevate from that to the next year being at 3.4, then the next year being at 5 million, right? And keep our expenses low. How can you help us with marketing and with data to take us from this 500,000 to where we can be at 2, 3, 5, and go and so forth, right? That's the level of conversations I have on a daily, right? So I mean, of course, I talk to regular entrepreneurs as well, but on a business, on a corporate level, a B2B level, those are who are in my office, right? That's who I'm having meetings with. So I like to give game though, because like this wasn't always this way. This has been the hustle and years of me grinding to get to this level where now this is the level of people that I'm helping because we're making that level of success. But the everyday person, I was that person. I was that entrepreneur. I was in fourth grade being that entrepreneur hustler kid, and that's been my journey all the way through life up to now. So yeah, I try to just drop this game and knowledge because I feel like that's what God put me here to do. But that's what people typically ask me. It's just like, man, how can I do it? And one of the ways that I feel like they can do it is by getting around people who are doing it and then soak us some game in real time.
I love that. First of all, I love that because I'm a nurturer and a giver also. So I love that you did talk about that because I think that that's so important. I always say that even though we have these rough lives, that there's something that's just so special about still having a softness to us. And I love that you have a little soft spot in your heart. I love that. I knew I liked you for a reason, Martel. One L, not two. So so all right. So just to wrap up, tell everyone how they can get in touch with you and also your business websites, all of that, because like he said, he has multiple things that he's doing. And then also tell them again, because again, we have reiterated numerous times about how for $39 a month you can actually get in with all of these other black entrepreneurs that are doing the dang thing, that are either where you are, that have elevated, they've scaled their businesses, all of that. So drop all the stuff that you're working on and how people can get in touch with you.
Okay, perfect. So first, you can follow me at Martel Matthews on Instagram on all platforms. Martel, my name is right here on the screen. So spell Martel 1L, Holly, and 2 T's for Matthews. And then for my brand, Good Feeling Hemp, that's Good GOOD Feeling FEELING, and then Hemp HEMP. Good Feeling Hemp. You can go to Good Feeling Hemp on all social media platforms. You can go to goodfeelinghemp.com. We ship cannabis and hemp products to you wherever you are, right? We have creams that help with inflammation, back pain, knee pain. My grandmother uses my salve for her knee pain. My dad uses my CBD tincture oils, and as well as my Delta 8 gummies to help him with sleep. He was an officer, HPD officer for over 25 years working overnights. It got hard for him to go to sleep at night, right? Now he uses CBD and hemp to help him sleep so he can actually get to that third and fourth sleep, that REM sleep, where you actually feel restored. So if you're having any type of problems with pain, with sleep, with inflammation, or just with anxiety and depression, hemp and CBD products are an immaculate choice for you and to help you improve your resources. So you can reach out to us. You can go to our website at goodfeelinghemp.com. Send us a message. You have questions, or you can purchase products. We'll ship it right to you, no matter where you are. You can be anywhere in the U.S., right? We can ship to you. And then my brand, Black Wall Street, the new Black Wall Street. So this is where I was speaking about our mastermind community that we started, which is the Business Empower Mastermind Community. We started this community for you, right? This is a community for you. You, the entrepreneur, you, the person that's the light, that's the difference maker in your family. You, that person who wants more for yourself and continue to elevate, but you feel like you don't fit in, like everybody around you aren't on the level that you're going to. No matter where you are in the world, you can join this mastermind community. And we made it super affordable, people. We could have charged $10,000 a month to be in this, right? We charged $37.97. $37.97 under $40, right? And you get to tap in. We do weekly Zoom calls. We do networking events. You come in person. We do master classes. We teach you about data. We give you resources. You get education. You get discounts to all the people who are partnered with us. So if you need their services, we discount it to you. It's really life changing. It's game changing, right? So you can go to blackwallstreet.net. That's BLACKWALLST.net. So blackwallst.net, and it'll come up. You can go check us out. You'll see the landing page. You'll see how to join, or you can just go follow us online. I told you we're on the way to 1 million followers. Go be that. Go help us get to that million, right? Blackwall.st, and you can check the link in the bio to find out more about our mastermind community and see what we have going on. But yeah, I appreciate being on the platform. I do this for you, like for you, the people listening and tuning in. This is why I come to have these type of conversations, because I feel like if we don't speak and get our message out, how do we ever change the world? And we're gonna change the world, and we're gonna do it together. So thank you, Holly, for having me on the platform. I look forward to coming back. I look forward to inviting you to my show. I have a show called Great Minds Monday, every Monday at Black Wall Street. And Great Minds, look forward to having you on, Holly, and we're gonna have a great conversation there too.
Yes, for sure, for sure. I love that. I love that. So again, you guys, that is Martel Matthews. Martel, thank you so much for giving that information, for answering those questions, and also for just, I guess, helping people, because I think a lot of people are struggling with trying to define, one, what they want to do, two, if the idea they have in their head can be monetized, and then also don't quit your job until until your brand takes off. So quit listening to those people on social media. Go work your job, and then until your job becomes your hobby or your side hustle, that's whenever
Right.
it's okay to maybe to put a little pinky toe in it. But until then, thank you so much. So thank you,
I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll leave there because you just got on the mic drop. Boom. Don't quit your job, folks. Keep your money and elevate your business at the same time. I appreciate you, Holly. Thanks.